Welcome to Doorway to the Paintings. I have another really good one here for you. It's one of my favorite paintings. I think it really stimulates and awakens the imagination. Reminds me of those ancient Greek myths and battles between good and evil. Really like this one. Okay, you guys, get ready for the adventure and let's dive into this one. Should be fun. Yeah, this is really a painting that I was enthusiastic about when I painted it about 3 years ago. I think it was about 3 years ago, maybe 2.5. It's a nice mixture of impressionism and reality. The characters are just the way I want them. I didn't want them to look too real. I wanted them to look kind of like a storybook and with really defined lines. Like this character here has a lot of defined lines. These dark lines define his body. Same with this character here. It's got a kind of dark outline. There's quite a bit of impression in here. I love how it's shadowy in the corner. I really like how it's shadowy in the corner here. Then you got your bars over here. Almost looks like a prison. A prison, and then this like the devil, or a kind of a devil figure, and then you have the flames coming out, which adds a sense of realism and look of realism to this painting. But I didn't want it to look too real because then it wouldn't be as stylistic. And then this pillar, this column, I really like it. Doesn't look that realistic, but I like this style. I gave it dark lines around it to define it more. I could have done that with shadow and blending, but I didn't want this to look too real because if it did, it wouldn't be as fun. And I wanted this to be a fun painting that I could really enjoy. I made the bad guy's robe quite long. I made it quite long just to give it a little bit more style. It goes way over here and swoops up. And you don't see his feet. You don't see his feet, but I imagine if you did, I probably would have put hoofs. Hoofs for feet. Instead of normal feet, I probably would have given him hoofs. There's quite a bit of detail on the face here. There's certain aspects of this painting that are realistic, like his face and his eyes, but his eyes are exaggerated to make him look more interesting. It's got his mouth open, he looks creepy, and it's got the horns. I thought about giving him just the kind of the curved kind of semicircle horns that you would see a lot, but this one here I gave him the curved, exaggerated curves that go back almost like a ram, like a ram's horns. I did that because in some of the ancient art it has those types of horns also, so I went that route. I could have went either way, but for this character I just wanted to do that. Kind of reminded me of ancient Greek myth a little bit more with these types of horns, but it could have gone either way actually. So a brown robe, and you can see how the robe here is lit up and illuminated because of the fire behind him, so it's casting light on his robe. So I didn't want to throw realism out completely. I just wanted a combination of impressionism and realism. It's got this nice spear here driving through the bad guy, our hero, with his type of kind of Spartan type helmet, silver helmet, grayish silver kind of iron helmet. It's got his shoes, his cloak with belt. I could have put more weapons on him, but I wanted this painting just to be simple and to the point. Then you got these like catacombs down these craggy rocks, sharp rocks hanging down like catacombs. I like those. I've put those in some of my Gromus paintings and other paintings. But gosh, I like that shadow back here. I like how the shadow is cast on the wall, and see how it's kind of broken up. It's not just a smooth, solid shadow. You can see the green wall. It's almost like cross-hatching, but smoother than that, and not as defined as cross-hatching, but I really like the look of it. It's almost like you can go back there and what's back there, and I think it looks really good against the green. Go back and get the full view again. I really love the green color. When I think of ancient Greek art and ancient Greece, for some reason, green color comes to me. I think in some of those shows, those travel shows on TV, they show some ancient Greek and Roman art, and I notice there's greens and kind of light browns and greens in the paintings and the murals and some of the tapestries and mosaics. I really like that color. I think it matches great with this type of painting and with these types of characters. But it's kind of an archetype. Obviously, hero against villain, good against evil. You have the hero going down to slay the Minotaur, or you have Hercules against the Nemean lion or the Cretan bull, or him doing one of his 12 labors, or going down to capture Cerberus, the three-headed demon watchdog, his 12th and final labor. Kind of goes back to those old Greek heroes like Achilles, and of course Hector was on the side of Troy, but he was in the myths. He was one of the legends of the myths. Achilles, Hercules, Atlas, have all these characters. Yeah, I really like the green, and I put kind of like cracks in the floor and on the walls. I like doing that like it's ancient, old, like he's been here for a long, long time, and he's traveled down into this place, and he's going in to the underworld, and maybe that's one of the gates, who knows. I kind of thought about a prison when I did this, and then I thought, you know, it could be a gate too that was maybe sliding. It's locked and then it slided over to the side and he came out like it was slid over there. But your imagination could just run away with you and go in so many directions in this type of painting. I always imagine when I paint a painting like this, the movie Clash of the Titans. It always comes into my mind when I'm painting anything about like ancient Greece or the myths with Perseus, and of course you had the Kraken in there, and then you had Pegasus. He's kind of the Perseus character, and this can almost be like a Kraken type character. Or Calibus. I think, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's been a few years since I've seen the movie, but remember that guy that was in love with the girl, and he had the whip, and he kind of looked like this, maybe? He kind of seems more like a Calibus than he would a Kraken character. But when you study the mythologies, the Kraken actually comes from Norse mythology. But it was sure a great movie. And I guess the real Kraken was described more as a giant squid instead of the multi-armed creature that we got in Clash of the Titans. But yeah, this is more like a, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but Calibus, you know, the guy with kind of the blue robe on, and he had the horns, and he was transformed into that creature. He lived in the marshes, and he had that giant vulture that would fly to take the girl to his domain out there in the marsh. And he had the whip. It's been a little while since I seen that movie, but I remember enjoying it as a child. It was really cool. Our hero archetype. Good build. He's got good muscularity. And then looking at a lot of the ancient art and a lot of the statues, they liked those muscular characters. I mean, I assume that they were muscular. They had the depictions of Hercules and Zeus and Poseidon, and they all had good builds. This character here has good muscle tone and really a great build. Great build, but even though I didn't want him to look too realistic, I wanted it to be a representation of the hero archetype, and this be a representation of the villain, evil archetype. And I assume this is his domain. And then he, the hero, has come down here to confront him, or maybe rescue somebody. There's probably a lot of stories that can be created from this one. Well, he's in a good position. Got him right through the chest. Got his hand, which is pretty detailed. The fire, I like the fire coming out of the bars. I really think that looks cool. And then again, this green color, really like it. It reminds me of the old bathroom tiles from the 70s. I assume that they still have this color in certain bathrooms nowadays too, but I remember as a kid, the bathroom tiles were a greenish color. Maybe not exactly like this, but I kind of thought about it. And then, like I said, I like using this color when I'm doing a painting like this. And get a little closer look at the floor over here. See how it's dark, kind of black and dark here, and then meets the fire, and the fire goes up. And you got this shadow cast on the green floor. And you got more cracks here. I really like that. And how the flames come up and come through the bars, and you can see some of the bar through the flames too, and vice versa. I really like that. Makes me wonder what world is behind here. Is it the Abyss, Tartarus? Is there a more worse place than this? Who knows? Maybe he came from there. Or maybe he came out from somewhere else to stop this guy from going down there. You never know. The confrontation is on. What a bedtime story this is. If you dream, I hope you dream that he wins and you're not hurt by this guy. Here's the defender. He could be the guard and the protector as the hero archetype there. This is one of my favorite paintings. I saw the painting in the box over there, and I was rummaging through the paintings and saw this one. I figured, let me make a video about this one too. This is cool. Really a good painting. I mean, I like it very much. And I hope you guys like looking at this with me, and if you like this video, consider subscribing and hit that like button. And the plan is to be back in the future with another video. In the meantime, take care, everybody. Good night, and hopefully pleasant dreams.